Welcome to the 100 Days of Business. We are working on our fifth module, which is all about creating Facebook groups. I think Facebook groups have been one of the most influential things in my business to help me create engagement and increase my client list. I get paid using Facebook groups. And so even if this isn't a strategy that you think you want to use long term, I suggest that you go through the process of learning about it so when the opportunity arises, you're able to jump in and offer your expertise. So I'm going to go over some really basic information and also the assignment, what it is that I expect you to do. I've got my notes already here, and I'm going to try to keep it quick and to the point because it's all about you offering your expertise to the world. That's the common thread in every single assignment, is that I want you to really think about how you can pull people into your community, make them feel safe and served, and continue to master what you're all about and offer it to them. So let's talk about the benefits of creating an online group. Now, for the purposes of our assignment, I'm going to focus on Facebook, but you could do this in other ways. You could create a physical group using these principles. You could create a LinkedIn group if you want. Groups are one of the most interesting things for the social media platforms. They're really experimenting with it, and it's a great place for you to really feel comfortable with just a small group and growing it slowly. So, first of all, you can control who's in and who's out. So when you're posting something online, you don't always know who sees it, and you can't control who gets it. There's just no way. There's algorithms and formulas for why things show up the way that they do. So when you have a group, you can create the level of privacy, and you can also decide if you want what it's all about and who you want to be in there. It could be that you add it as a benefit for your existing clients, or it can be really the widest part of your sales funnel, where when someone is interested in your business or you want to court them, you put them in the business. If you think about it, when you post something on your profile, you have no idea. You know that you're probably going to reach people, but it really depends on whether or not they click on your content. And it's even harder when it's a Facebook page, because it tends to be, if you haven't paid for sponsorship online, it tends to get prioritized lower, maybe as many as 100 or 150 posts lower than the regular posts. So that's one. Number two, something that I love is you can see who sees your posts and you can engage with them. So I could say, hey, I saw that you read this and you didn't answer, but I really do want you to come back and look at it. So that's important. And you also get a notification. If you're in a group, you'll get a notification that there's something new that's posted. So it's an easier engagement, an easier back and forth. There is an opportunity for a higher level of engagement, because if someone's in a group and you're acting as the expert in the group, then there's an expectation that you'll ask questions, that you'll pursue people. They understand who you are and what you offer at that point. And it's a place, in my opinion, to move people along the sales funnel when they're ready. It could be that you are in a group of mine and that you're at a lower level. So I don't have any groups where people didn't pay to get in there. That's something that I'm strongly considering. But it could be that you signed up for one of the lowest levels, and I will continue to connect with you in the hopes that perhaps you'll do one-on-one coaching, or maybe you'll hire me as a speaker, or you'll want, just some expertise of mine, something specific. And so this is an opportunity for you to hold them in your community, offer expertise and value, let them sample who you are. And when the opportunity is right, you can move them along and you don't lose them. You know how you kind of lose emails and you lose business cards and you lose momentum. You might meet someone at a networking group and you just love them and you really want them to remember you, but it's hard. We have a lot of people in our world and a lot of information. It's hard to hold all of it in. So there are some things that you need to think about. Now, I'm going to ask you to create a group, a private group, and you can invite people in there and just kind of practice. And then if you don't want to do it anymore, then you can just delete the group. It'll be just fine and you'll have that expertise. But as you're doing it, I want you to think about the things that that you need to know to make a Facebook group effective, to make any group effective, really. One is you're going to have to commit to it. So you can't just put something together and assume that everyone's going to maintain their excitement. You're going to have a plan, and you're going to have to commit to it with consistency and variety. The second thing is, well, I kind of just mentioned it, but you have to have a plan. You can't just come up every day and think, well, what am I going to post? It would be much better for you to think about your strategy, what it is that you're inviting them in for, and just hammer it out day after day after day, and it will work eventually. Just a caution: don't add anyone until they've said yes. Please don't do that. People just hate that, I have to tell you. And so make sure that you've asked permission, you've invited them, and make sure they understand what it's all about. Make sure that that's very, very clear. And here's something that I just want to offer to you. In this age of social media, in this age of automation, don't resent the process. I believe, as an expert, you can't expect everyone to pay for every drop of advice you give. So this is just a fun place. If you create a plan, it should be easy for you to execute. Now, I want you to think about in your plan, and there's lots of information. There's an assignment, there's tutorials in this module, but this is just my introduction. But there are 6 behaviors that I think that you can use when you are going and interacting in your Facebook group. So the first one is you can do some kind of coaching or expert encouragement, and that would be through print copy, slides. You create slides in Canva or other places, video, and blog posts. So that's one place of content. I should have said behaviors, but I'm going to say 6 areas of content. The second is that you can create a live experience. So you get in there and you interact with them, and what a fantastic opportunity to go in and be able to interact with people. I mean, it's really wonderful. I love that feature. A third is Q&A. So you can do it a number of ways. We just created a survey, so you could create a survey and just continue to mine information. You could do just a quick 1-line question. Just say, let's do a check-in. How are you doing? Which do you prefer? And you could do a poll. Polls are wonderful, and that ability to do a poll is available in Facebook groups for a reason. So use everything that is available to you. So we have 3: expert encouragement, the live experience, Q&A, and then number 4 is interesting information. It doesn't have to be that you came up with all the information. An expert knows what's going on. They're looking and watching for what the latest things are, whether it's products or information or links, and so that can be this group can be a great resource for people. And finally, last but not least, and I put this at the end for a reason, there's calls to action. You might want someone to try something, sign up for something, show up for something, or buy something. So if they try something, you could say, would you be willing to try this assignment or this strategy or this product or whatever? You might want them to sign up for something additional, like a class, or to try something, a workshop. You might want them to show up for a networking event. You might want them to buy something. Now, I put that at the end because, yes, it is going to be one of your goals to get people to sign up or buy something from you. You're a business person and an expert, and it's implied. But the reason why it's last is because that cannot be the way that you lead. You're leading as an expert. That's what this class is all about. The 100 Days of Business is not about just the technology. It's about learning how to function in this amazing opportunity with social media and technology as an expert, and allowing the waves of your expertise to go out there and then come back as revenue and additional contacts. So here's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be choosing what your group is going to be about. Is it going to be a product or service? Is it going to reinforce your general brand? Is it an issue or a problem that you want to solve? Some sort of support for a behavior? Content that's interesting? You need to make a decision, and you'll be completing the assignment in order to make that happen. You're going to have to gather your branding, your fonts, your colors. Do you remember that exercise? If you haven't, go back into the pre-work and get that done and post it, because it'll really help you create a consistent look and feel. You want to make sure that your website and the things that you're posting and your group all kind of look like they belong in the same bucket. Look at your promo work. That will help you. Decide how often and what you're going to be posting, and make sure that you create a list of people that you're going to start with and start asking them. It's a sales process. Say, hey, I'm doing this group and this is what it's all about. Can I add you to it? Would you be interested? So you're going to get permission. You'll create a wonderful, with your branding, a cover and a really good description. And again, the assignment and the tutorials will help you with it. So good luck. I hope that you try this strategy. Again, like when I said at the start of this has been a great opportunity for me, Facebook groups. I have made real money that I can say is a revenue stream, and by using this as part of my sales funnel. I do not feel like I've been taken advantage of at all. It has been a really, really wonderful experience. Not only have I had the opportunity to offer my expertise, but I get to know people and get to know my client really well and create a wonderful relationship, so that when it's time to sign up for something, it just feels natural. It doesn't feel pushy at all. So I know that you'll have questions. I promise you that I am waiting in our group to support you. Let's get started. Start your community and stand in the middle of it as a fantastic expert.